Welcome back to Daybreak on Trust TV. Now we're diving straight into a major national development. Yesterday, the Federal High Court in Abuja sentenced Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, to life imprisonment. Justice James Omotosho convicted Kanu on all 7 counts of terrorism, handing down a life sentence on 5 of those counts, plus additional decades on the others, with no option of a fine. Today's judgment is one of the most significant in recent years, with deep implications for the nation. So this morning, we are opening the lines to ask you, Nnamdi Kanu's life sentence, what are your thoughts? Is this a decisive victory for the rule of law and a blow against separatism? Or is it a verdict that could inflame tensions and complicate the search for national unity? Perhaps you have a legal perspective on the sentencing itself. The lines are open right now. Call us on the numbers displayed on your screen. You can also send WhatsApp message on same numbers displayed on your screen. This is it.
Hear from you at this point, or what do you think about this judgment? This court proceeding has been going on for a decade. That is 10 years. It started since 2015 and now in 2025, and the sentence has just been given. So what are your thoughts? What do you think the people would... How do you think the people would receive this judgment, aside from the Nigerians, you know, the people, the IPOB followers, members of the indigenous people of Biafra? How do you think they would react to the sentencing of Nnamdi Kanu? And this is not the only leader that has been sentenced. If you can remember, one of their leaders in Finland was sentenced to, I think, 7 or 9 years imprisonment. I think, and at this point, another leader of theirs has been sentenced to life imprisonment. So how do you think the reception would be? There are 2 different aspects that we need to look at when it comes to the welfare of the country, when it comes to terrorism, separatism, as it is called at this moment, as well as, you know, those people that are the followers. How might they react, and how they would take this news of their leader being imprisoned?
Honestly, from yesterday in social media, especially the people of Southeast, especially the people that are part of the movement, the Biafran movement, are not happy. Actually, most people, you know, most postings is talking about how Igbo have been marginalized, Igbos are second-class citizens and what have you. But when you check when you watch the court ruling yesterday and you read the all 7 counts of the terrorism and what have you that the Justice Omotosho actually read out, and what really started happening in court, there was contempt by Kanu, internal contempt of court, because he was talking when the registrar was trying to rule out, like start the court process, you know, and that was not a good one. It's contempt.
Well, according to the judge, the convict was full of arrogance, cocky,
unruly
aggressive,
behavior,
full of himself,
yes,
unremorseful, unmindful of the consequences of his action. That's aside, as well as you said, unruly behavior in court. At a point, Nnamdi Kanu dismissed all, well, not really dismissed, but his legal counsel all dropped the case and separated themselves from the case as well, and he had to represent himself in court. And I believe those are some of the reasons that I would say that he might have a lower hand in court at that point. And aside from that, it's been 10 years. This case has been in court in 10 years.
And as 10 years.
Yeah, as you made mention, there are lots of feedback on social media, and you could see some I would say video, audio evidences that have been put out there. Well,
even the broadcast
and broadcast, yeah, exactly,
inciting
violence, killings, and all of that. Killing, exactly. All security operatives. Well, we have our first caller this morning. Let's hear what they have to say. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Hauwa and Maryam.
Good morning, Ajay. Good morning, Ajay. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. My thought about this issue is that the judge gave normally, and tolerated so many things. Being an experienced judge, because the arrogance of that guy was witnessed by the whole world. There's nothing wrong in agitating for self-rule. There's nothing wrong about that. The way I go to this guy is that the boys were killing the Igbos. They were telling us they are trying to protect. They were dying their hundreds. Every Monday they shut down the whole Southeast. And Igbos are known for best trading in my country, commerce. But every Monday they shut down everything. So some of us move to Asaba for the trading. And imagine the people they love their life. We watch the video. They kill without people caring for anybody, pregnant or whatever. That is not good. You don't have to check blood of human beings because you are asking for natural something. No, you do it in a civilized way. Go to the United Nations. Make sure whatever you want to do most to them. They carry your things, your government along with you. You can't do it. But if you to do that, then when it was incarcerated, Samuel too was operating from Finland. People are dying. I don't know how they don't feel pain. If you love your people, why are you killing them? Why are you killing your people? Why are you shedding blood? Students cannot go to school. They start going to school on Monday or Saturday. I mean, that doesn't make sense. There should be political solution, I agree, but let the go to Supreme Court. Let Supreme Court take their verdict. After that, the NPP removes. Let him sign a contract with government that we never do such again. Then they can release him there. They just release now, pardon him, encouraging criminality. Someone else will write for another region and say, since they pardon him, let's do it as well. So, to me, let him stay in that prison for a while. Let him take to Supreme Court. I mean, you can imagine, I'm only particular about those who are killing in the land. And the killing of people, I don't understand this. So, probably the one was agitating for the same thing in Southwest. There's not killing anybody. At all. So, I don't know why the Kanu choose that part. And there were people that they are trying to protect, and they are doing it. So, to me, and it's arrogancy. Let him stay in that place. He can't be above the law. Nobody is bigger than Nigeria. So let him stay in that prison to let the Supreme Court. Then we'll see how it goes. God bless Nigeria.
All right, thank you very much, Ade, for that. The different perspectives when it comes to this case. Some might think that it's been pushed on too harsh, and obviously, if there's a contest with the court proceedings and the judgment of the judge, it could be taken further to the Supreme Court. But at the end of the day, it is necessary to look at the history of what went on up until this time of this court proceeding and judgment as well. But let's take our next caller. Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining us. What is your name and where are you calling from? All right, please, as you call us in, make sure you switch off or turn down the volume of your TV set so that we can hear you clearly. The numbers are displayed on your screen. We are still discussing the Kanu life sentence, and we would like to hear your thoughts. So make sure your volume is all the way down so that we can hear you clearly and you can pass your message across as well. So make sure you call us back. We'd like to hear your thoughts. All right, so looking at the background, the case has been in court since 2015.
2015 is such a long time.
Exactly, and that case has passed through 4 judges so far. But let's take our caller. Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining us. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning. This is Abasekon calling from Gombe.
Good morning, Abasekon. Thank you for joining us.
Ladies, good morning. I really appreciate Trust TV. Sincerely speaking, Kanu is an international terrorist. Apart from being an international terrorist, he's an international espionage. Apart from being that, he has groups of gangsterism that cause mayhem in the southern hemisphere of our country, Nigeria. Presently, I'm in Gombe State. I am being housed by Nigeria. If I don't live happily here, will I not pack my baggages and leave? So, I love this country. Gombe is my country. Nigeria is my country. So, if I am not being accommodated in Gombe, will I be able to stay? That is what a lot of people don't understand. Why am I saying this? If Nigeria is divided, Gombe will be a northern state of another name called Nigeria or any other country. Then will I have access to this place? I will need to have an international passport, or I will have a passport before I can enter here. If I now have my access into this place, I become an illegal alien. Now, going straight to the point people are talking about, I watched the proceedings, the court proceedings, from beginning to the end. Kanu is an arrogant, I don't want to call him names now, because I don't like the way he portrays himself. In fact, life in prison is too small, sir. He should die by hanging. I'm not happy. But the fact remains that if I'm not happy, his arrogance was the magistrate exhibited himself in a conduct that shows that Nigeria is progressing in their judicial system. I so much appreciate that judge. I give him 100 over 100. And the three representatives of the Nigerian lawyers, they did their homework. I listened to them tentatively. I want to really appreciate our court system and those that represented those lawyers that represented the federal government. To me, that guy should go by hanging, because if he's released, he still has the characteristics of causing more good than harm. Now, why am I saying this? We have what is constant, and we have the venerables. In constant, a man cannot give birth. In venerable, we have changes. Times are changing, and we must not allow countries to mingle into our internal affairs. Look at what an America was saying on Kanu. I'm not happy. They should leave us to handle our internal crisis. Nigerians have the capability to handle our internal crisis. If they want to assist, they can assist, but not to mingle into our internal crisis as they are doing to Venezuela. Nigeria is a country, it's a sovereign country. Kai, I'm not happy. May God bless this country. I appreciate you people for the wonderful job Trust TV is doing. I am praying that this Trust TV will be given a laudable award, more than any TV, more than NTA, more than channels, because people are digging deep into the history of this country. Thank you, the management of Trust TV. Thank you, Nigerians. Thank you, listeners, and I appreciate all of you.
Thank you very much,
Obasanjo.
Thank you
for that. Now, looking at it, Maryam, as I was saying earlier, 4 judges and Justice Omotosho is the fourth one that gave the judgment for the trial. And the previous 3, they had to, withdraw from the case due to allegations of bias by Nnamdi Kanu. And aside from that, in 2015 to 2017, when Judge Binta Nyako granted him bail, he fled the country, and he wasn't able to be captured up until 2021. Then he was brought back to the country to continue. But then it's always been known the incitement of violence, and some might call it terrorism and separatism, which a lot would say that it separates themselves from the sovereignty of the country.
I really want to spell this out, but let's pick this call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. This is Sunday Aliu.
Thank you for calling.
What is?
What's
thank
your
you for
take?
calling in.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm speaking from Ondo State on the issue of Kanu.
All right, go ahead with your thoughts.
I think the judge, Justice Omotosho did a very wonderful job. I watched it throughout. I watched all the proceedings, and Kanu was a kind of arrogant. I don't know why you commit such an. My elder brother died in the East because of that declaration. He was killed. He was a police officer, and I hear people saying they should give him a presidential pardon. For what? Someone who has committed that crime. I think our judiciary is growing, and we thank God for people like Justice Omotosho. He did a clear job, and God will continue to bless Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You know, a lot of people, pardon me for interfering, but a lot of people have suffered from, you know, his declarations, from, you know,
from his broadcast.
Exactly, from his broadcast, calling out to your people to kill security officers, security operatives. That is quite devastating for the families, as well as telling them to kill them, and not only kill them, but behead them.
And all evidences were there against him. You know, Justice James Omotosho, while delivering judgment, said prosecution proved its case in the 7 counts. So he mentioned one by one. On count 1, he said that the defendant failed to respond to the broadcast accusation. You know, that was when he said he had a very arrogant, he put on an arrogant face, and he deliberately refused to enter his defense on 8.
All right, before you continue, let's take our next caller. Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining us. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, my name is Kingsley, calling you from Lagos.
Good morning, Kingsley. Go ahead.
Yeah, my take on the Kanu issue.
Go ahead.
I want people to know that Kanu, 90% of Igbos supported Kanu. Are you hearing me?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, we're listening.
Yeah, so 90% of Southeastern people in support of what Kanu is doing. They are tired of staying in this country called Nigeria. So, and it's not a crime for someone to say that this marriage is not working. When marriage is not working, a wife or husband has right to say, no, I can't do again. It's not a do or die affair. Now, some people are talking about sit at home in Southeast. Yorubas are complaining about sit at home in Southeast. And Northern people, somebody come from Gogo is complaining about sit at home. But Southeastern people, people that live in Southeast is comfortable with that sit at home. They are okay with that sit at home. And people in Northern states and Yoruba states are complaining. What does that show? Now, you cannot stop a fire. Can you use fuel to stop a fire? Only way government can do, only thing they can do is to just negotiate with Kanu or Southeastern people. You can't get it fire by fire. Even if they convict Kanu, someone said that you hang him, do this one, he can't settle. If another person will rise, take it or leave it. The people of Southeast are not happy. They are not happy. Take it or leave it. I'm from Anambra State. I live in Lagos. So if they like, let them jubilate and do this one. But he can't stop IPOP. That's the truth of the matter. Only thing is to negotiate and calm everything down, not by fire, by force.
So you're not happy with the judgment?
At all. How can you give that such a judgment? What happened to the ISWAP leader that was sentenced 20 years imprisonment day before yesterday? ISWAP leader. He was given 20 years imprisonment. Sunday Boko was caught with AK-47. And Iboko did not spend even 1 day in prison in Nigeria. They went to Cotonou and bail Iboko. And someone come from Yoruba side and say he's happy. Have you caught Nnamdi Kanu with any cutlass or AK-47? I'm disappointed with some of the caller this morning. I'm very disappointed with them. Only way is solution. Just negotiate. If you want peace, negotiate with the Igbos. Kanu represents 95% of southeastern part of the country. 98. I'm telling you the facts. If you like, ask people, not to politicians. Those ones that talk on media do this one. They are not the real people. Ask the indigenous of Anambra State or any Southeastern states. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for your thoughts.
Part of the agitation and grievances among the Southeast people is in a country that there are peace deals with terrorists and they are repentant Boko Harams. And most people are saying a very popular Islamic cleric comes out openly to ask the government to negotiate with terrorists. Why are they not doing anything to him allegedly, So why is Kanu's case different?
Well, it just depends on, the atrocities that have been committed. And aside from that, it is not up to us. We can never say that this is the judgment that meant it. It needs to go to court and, go through the full wrath of the law. But let's
then again, we have another caller before we continue.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Yes, good morning. My name.
Please turn down the volume of your TV set so that we can hear you clearly.
Are you hearing me?
Yes. We can't hear you. Please turn down the volume of your TV set.
Okay, on that. Are you hearing me now?
Yes,
okay,
go ahead. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Yes, my name is Idris. I'm calling from Benue State.
Thank you for calling in. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Yes, I want to comment on the trial of Kanu.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, I'm really disappointed in the judgment. I'm really disappointed.
Arrest marked the start of a long trial.
I could account of some people in Nigeria here who committed a lot of crimes and are still free. Look at recently, our president of Nigeria pardoned some thugs, people that killed others, commit a lot of crimes. He gave them pardon. It was because of the anger of Nigerians that made the president to reduce the number of convicts that we pardon. And see, some of them that are pardoned committed a lot of crimes. Well, they still granted pardon. Why Kanu? The issue of Kanu was not caught red-handed for committing any crime, because he's a leader of the Biafrans. So I look at this and I say, wow. So Nigeria is about the lucky ones and the unlucky ones. If not, the judgment that our judges are delivering now is very, very poor compared to other countries. May God help Nigeria. May God help us. Because what we're seeing in Nigeria now is not right at all. They will be quoting Nigerian constitution and they will be acting outside the Nigerian constitution. We're very, very annoyed. What is going on in Nigeria here? Nobody is excluded. Everybody is included. If your children are in South Africa, if your children are outside Nigeria, one day they will come back in Nigeria here and face what we are facing. So if other people think that they will punish others for the sins of others, nobody is in exception. Everybody will bear it. If you are in UK, if you are in London, one day you will visit your country. And what has been planted here by your father, and what is planted here by your father, you will harvest it. So, for me, I'm highly against judgment. Very against judgment. That is not how it's supposed to be done.
All right. Thank you very much.
In the regime of Buhari, the Nigerian court ordered ordered Nigerian government to compensate Nnamdi Kanu. Now still take him where he was. I think Kenya, where he was, and ordered the Nigerian government to give me a sum of money. Nigerian government refused to do that. Now the judgment is life imprisonment. Where is Nigeria going? Where is this country going? Nobody knows where Nigeria is going. Thank you very much. But that is not a solution.
All right.
The judgment is never a solution. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your take. Now, not to get things confused, according to the judgment given by Justice Omotosho, Kanu was convicted first off of 6 terrorism charges of the 7 charges filed by the prosecution. Now, among the terrorism charges on which the judge convicted him are terrorism acts, inciting violence against security personnel and their families, foreign embassies and officials, the Lagos state government, and those who flouted the sit-at-home order in the southeast region. Now, the court punished him for these offences with life imprisonment. And after that, he was also convicted of illegally importing a Tram 50L radio transmitter concealed in a container with the label of used household items into Nigeria in 2015. Now, the prosecution said he kept the transmitter in Luzor in Ihialia local government area of Anambra State. Now, the judge sentenced him to 5 years imprisonment for that offence. Now, counting those counts of, offences that the court has convicted Nnamdi Kanu, a lot might say no, it's not fair, and a lot might say, okay, that is just the right avenue to pass. Everyone might have conflicting, understanding as well as perspective of this judgment. But as always, it is said, when something happens, take it to the courts, and it's been taken to the court. If there's any contest, judgment already. Exactly, and if there's any contest to it, that was in the High Court, they can take it to the Supreme Court, and it can be looked at and analysed as well. That's why there's an hierarchy when it comes to the courts.
Appeal then Supreme.
Absolutely, for someone to incite violence in killing security officials or police officers that are there, that are supposed to safeguard lives and properties of Nigerians and their families as well. That is quite something to look at.
According to the broadcast, it's been spelled out like the way he even ordered the ambush of the Lagos state government and even the airport, Murtala Muhammad airport. It's a lot actually, but it seems most the people of the South are not too concerned about the fact that he has been labeled a terrorist, but actually, instead there are lots of other terrorists
a lot of people, even in the southeast, you wouldn't generalize that they don't have their issue. Exactly, you wouldn't generalize because you wouldn't know different perspectives of people. But let's
pick another caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. What is your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Kagainu. I'm calling from Kaduna State.
All right,
go ahead.
Your thoughts.
What's your take on this topic this morning?
Honestly, we are very, very happy for how the judiciary are ready to prosecute Kanu. That judgment is a very good judgment. But the problem that judgment should not be, justice should not be for a particular people. A different type of judgment is given, and a particular people is given. Kanu has instigated the killing of Igbos and other people, security people. In the north here, we have people that are killing people. But they kill people, they are arrested, and the type of judgment that is given them is different from the one that is given to them. They are killing people, they are calling that they are radicalizing people, and people are holding weapons and killing people here in the north. And they have been arrested, and they are not being the people are not being protected. That is why the Igbo people are saying that we are not being fair to them. That Nigeria is not being fair to them. Kanu has killed people. Somebody has also killed people. But they are giving Kanu life imprisonment, and the other person, they are not giving him life imprisonment, they are giving him 20 years in prison. So what type of justice is that? They have the right to complain, because if the judiciary is accurate, how can you match the two? This country is our country all about. Some people will be giving how can this thing that is happening below be happening, and people have been arrested. When the military will go after people, arrest them. So far, in the process, military will die. They have killed people, military will die in the process of arresting them. They will arrest them, and nothing is done to them. And they are organizing to negotiate with them. They come to the negotiation table with all manners of weapons, and our security will be there. None of them will be arrested. And you are saying that, how can the Igbo people not complain with this type of justice? Thank you very much. Nice day.
All right, thank you very much for your take. We'll be looking at WhatsApp messages that we received this morning. And this one is from Adamu Muhammad Usman from Kafang Hausa in Jigawa State. All right, we have one from Faisal from Kaduna, and he says, what is the difference between Kanu and the individuals that use radio to spread anti-Tutsi propaganda and directly incite genocide in Rwanda? Thank you very much, Faisal from Kaduna.
And this is coming from Abu Kiyawa. Yeah, well, this is coming from...
Yes, we have a message from Adamu Muhammad Usman from Kafang Hausa.
Yeah, Adamu Muhammad says, good morning, everyone. Well, anyone or anybody who violates the rule or law of the land, irrespective of religion, tribe, geographical location, and status, let the government bring anybody to the court of justice and let the court do the needful, as it has just happened to Nnamdi Kanu's judgment. Well done to the court. As the court pleases, let the court stick to any justified ruling, especially like this sentence to the life imprisonment to Kanu, because he is an enemy of the land based on the point the court mentioned he committed, and sentences him to prison. As it was allegedly reported that these Biafra people are the ones reporting false information to USA of Christians' genocide in Nigeria. Also, some of these Biafrans are the ones that killed the northern political leaders in the First Republic, the Sardonas, Tafawa Balewas, etc. And up till now, they keep creating so many worryable things to the nation, especially to the north. The rest of Kanus will never smell joy and happiness in their lives, according to him, if they didn't admit their mistakes and sins, repent, ask for forgiveness, and promise not to go back to those evil acts. All these things are fresh in the minds of patriotic Nigerians and even good ones amongst them. May Allah continue to help and protect Nigeria. This is coming from Adamu Muhammad Usman, writing from Kafin Hausa, Jigawa State.
All right, I believe we have another message from Aboki Yasa from Edo State, and he says Nnamdi Kanu's sentence is consistent with the law, and for me it shows the government is becoming serious with terrorism, and I also want that seriousness to be applied all around the country, because when we do such, the citizens will come to terms with the fact that the government is not interested in whipping up sentiments, but rather doing its job. I don't even support a political solution, because the use of political solution gives edge to those who can utilize that to continue misbehaving, and it is not good for the Nigerian state. Thank you very much for that.
Well,
all right, that is all we have for the segment.